your eyes now, but I know there's always a way. From sunrise till dawn, I'll be here waiting. From sunrise till dawn, I'll never stop. I'll fix you up, make everything much smoother again. I'll fix you up, from sunrise till dawn, my friend. I'll fix you up, with these hands and heart so true. I'll fix you up, Danielle, I'll fix you up. The connections might be tangled, the power source has lost its spark, but every wire tells a story, and I can mend what's torn apart. From sunrise till dawn, I'll be here waiting. From sunrise till dawn, I'll never stop. I'll fix you up, make everything run smooth again. I'll fix you up, from sunrise till dawn, my friend. I'll fix you up, with these hands and hearts so true. I'll fix you up, Daniel, I'll fix you up. When the current isn't flowing, when the signals disappear, I'll be here with tools and patience, make the static crystal clear. Every cable, every circuit, every problem that you bring, I'll restore what time has broken, make the whole world sing. So don't you worry about tomorrow, don't you stress about today. I've got maintenance for your troubles, and I'll chase them all away. I'll fix you up, make everything run smooth again. I'll fix you up, from sunrise till dawn, my friend. I'll fix you up, with these hands and hearts so true. I'll fix you up, Daniel, I'll fix you up. Hey, Daniel, everything's good as new. Hey, Daniel, I'll fix you up for you.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Today is one of our favorite judges, Judge Webster. So let's get this party started today. Make it bigger.
I'm detecting a bit of an attitude, and I've had a bit of problem with you all day long. I'd suggest you kind of take a deep breath and try to get rid of the attitude, because then if you don't, you may cause me to have to get an attitude too. So
well, likewise, take that deep breath, do the same thing. You know what I mean?
Excuse me?
I said same, do the same thing. Take that deep breath. Goose fraba.
All right, Mr. Phillips, do you know what my title is?
I do, but that doesn't give you the right to belittle me or anybody else in your court. You know,
right,
you have a code of conduct.
Okay, I am finding your conduct contemptuous because you're interfering and disrespecting the process and the court. You are hereby fined for direct contempt of court, $100 cash payable in 1 week to the clerk of the district court.
That's fine.
And if I have any more problem with you, it's going to go up a little bit more. And if I have any more problem with you, you can go to jail over it.
I know this is being recorded, so I would like a copy of this because I'm going to take this to an attorney. That's fine.
$500 cash for direct court. And I am ordering you to surrender yourself by 2:30 today to the Butler County District Court.
I cannot do that.
Well, then you're making me send a sheriff out to get you.
You have been delaying the court the whole time.
All right, I've given you my order. Disconnect him from the call. He better be here or the sheriff will go out.
I will not be there.
You refuse to tell me your address?
It is none of your business. You will be informed through my attorney.
I think we're ready for William Wayne Phillips and Attorney Zolator.
Okay, let me get them in here.
All right, thank you. All right, we are on the record in 2024 TR 1376, State of Kansas versus William Wayne Phillips. Please announce appearances.
Jared McGeer on behalf of the state.
And please, the court, Mr. Williams appears in person with counsel Kevin Zolator.
Hang on.
This matter is set for bench trial today. And Mr. Regier, I see, has subpoenaed Trooper Andrew Lieber, who has been with us since 1:30. Now then, Mr. Zolator, does your client still wish to exercise his right to a trial?
No, Your Honor, we're requesting a continuance.
And for what reason?
We were just recently retained, I think, a few weeks ago.
Well, this case originated with some kind of traffic stop, May 21st of 2024. The defendant had first appearance August 14th of 24. He appeared before Judge Rickey in custody September 11th, 24. He appeared before Judge Lee September 20th, 2024. Each time, this time he requested a continuance and the Chief Judge Rickey denied it. No, I'm sorry. Judge Lee denied it and set it for bench trial today before me. That was September 20th, the trial was set. The defendant told me back on August 14th he was hiring an attorney, which he has. And I show an entry of appearance filed October 24th. We're set for trial on charges of speeding 86 and a 65. We are also set for trial. Let me look at the amended complaint filed August 1st, see if there's anything still remaining. Count 2, driving while suspended after a prior conviction, a Class A misdemeanor. Mr. Regier, your response?
Your Honor, for the sole purpose of it, well, Your Honor, forgive me, Your Honor. I will, if I may, respectfully request 30 seconds.
Granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Now, your response to the request for continuance, Mr. Regier.
Your Honor, for the sole purpose, if indeed the continuance is being requested, other than recently retained, perhaps there are some other reasons which I'm sure counsel can defer to the court better than I can. I would advise the court, in accordance with my duty of candor as an officer of the court, that I am not aware if discovery has been provided in this case. Certainly, legally, that is something counsel for the defense would be entitled to. However, to refresh the court's recollection.
You don't have to refresh my recollection, counsel. He entered his appearance October 24th, 2024. You can't tell me if you sent him discovery?
Your Honor, for my understanding is that issue is still outstanding. So
I don't want it outstanding. I want you to check your file and tell me if he's had discovery and when he got it.
Your Honor.
Or Mr. Zolator, you're an officer of the court. Do you have discovery and when did you get it?
Your Honor, I do not have discovery in my file with me, but I am not going to advise the court that I've not received it without checking the office file, which I can pull up now.
Meanwhile, Mr. Regier, if you have an answer from your end, I'd appreciate that.
And while I look, Judge, I think Mr. Regier was referencing other reasons. Obviously, we were just recently retained. I haven't had an ability to discuss with Mr. Regier possible resolution short of a trial. But, you know, all that I thought was somewhat implied in my statement that we were just recently retained. I don't think we've had sufficient time to do all the things normally that are done before a trial. But I am pulling it up now, and I can tell you if we've received discovery or not.
Are you researching dental implants?
There's a lot of dental offices
that'll talk about doing their teeth in the.
It does not look like on my end, Your Honor, we have received discovery.
Mr. Regier, how long does it take your office to get discovery? I mean, October 24th, he requested it. It's now November, what, 13th? How much longer do you think you'll need to get that to him by computer?
Your Honor, under these circumstances, the state does not object to this matter being set over.
Well, my question was, and I don't know if Mr. Zolator is the office attorney, I don't think he is, but we've had this issue before, and I have repeatedly ordered discovery go to the attorney, and what was it, 128 days? No. I can't remember the number of days that your office, even though I had ordered him multiple times to receive that, had still not sent him full discovery. I hope we're not going to get caught in another one of those situations where I order it and it's not done. And I'm concerned that now I'm hearing that after all this time, he hadn't even had it sent to him. So do you have any assurance, better than what we've had in that other case, that you'll send it to him, Mr. Regier? Frankly, don't recall who the attorney was that we were having that problem.
Yeah, and from my end, Your Honor, and I've never had problems with Mr. Regier getting me discovery. My request was not based on, and I understand the court's frustration. I'm not trying to play both sides. We haven't had it. I wasn't complaining about that at this time. Frankly, I don't think a trial is going to be necessary if I get discovery and I'm able to talk to Mr. Regier, be more efficient that way. So that's my request. And I don't have any prior, I don't know what case you're referring to, but I would expect that I would get it in a short amount of time.
Well, Mr. Regier, do you recall which case I'm talking about?
Your Honor, not by number, although based off my records, it would appear that my office has communicated with Mr. Zolator's office as recently as within the last 24 hours on the outstanding discovery issue. I would anticipate that being resolved in a timely fashion.
So we've had this bench trial set all this time, and they finally had a communication with him about discovery the evening before. Yes, I am frustrated. This is not the way cases are handled or to be handled. Particularly in this case, where the defendant has been told by multiple judges that we would have a trial. Judge Rickey said he said it. Let me get my judge. Judge Rickey told him he was setting it for jury trial with me, and no, I strike that. Judge Lee told him it was going to be set for jury trial. This has just been, he's seen 3 judges over the course of a number of months. He's told each of us he was going to hire his attorney. And now we come in here after he was specifically told to be ready to go to trial today, and he's not. And the reason you all know, I'm sure, that I am expressing frustration with this defendant is because he cannot do what courts tell him to do, according to my experience with him. And let's put that camera over there a little bit further so he can participate in these hearings. This defendant has told me in no uncertain ways that he doesn't have to give me what I ask for. He won't do it. He does not have to appear when I tell him to, and he has told me he won't appear when I tell him to. He has called me names, referred to me in a negative light, and he just does not seem to appreciate the judicial authority of me, of Chief Judge Rickey, or Judge Lee. He does not do anything any of us tell him to do, except I am impressed he shows up today with an attorney, one of which I know is very respectable and does do what he says he's going to do. So we are making progress.
To that end, Your Honor, at some point, my client would like to address
the other issue.
No, to address you.
All right. Well, at this time, I will grant the continuance at the defendant's request, but it's going to be the only trial continuance because I feel like this defendant has just been trampling over the judicial system for months now, just literally trampling over it. And I don't know, Mr. Zolator, if you've seen the videos from earlier hearings, but if you haven't, you really need to.
We
All
have,
right, this case will be continued. When's our next bench trial? Or does he want a jury trial? I have a jury trial in February.
Your Honor, I haven't discussed that with him. I am representing to the court that I do not think a trial will be necessary. If I must elect, I will have to go with a jury trial at this time because I have not talked to him about waiving his constitutional right, which I think is guaranteed because it's a Class A misdemeanor, not a Class B. If
Very
we set
well.
this for a status, I think we can probably get this resolved. I can't guarantee that. If you don't want to do that, I would request the jury trial setting in February.
I will set it for jury trial, but you'll need, of course, make the written demand and so forth. Because I just don't want to let him, of course, like I said, he's got you now and you're not prone to play the games that he has. So, all right. When's our next available status conference? Not until January?
And I apologize, Your Honor. I'm not available that date either.
Okay.
But if
let's
we can
just set it-
resolve this, I certainly will try to get a plea date before then.
Okay, well, let's set it for pretrial February 3rd, 2025 at 9 a.m. and that will be by Zoom. The pretrial will be by Zoom. But of course, the bench trial or the jury trial that I'm setting will be February 5th and 6th, and that will be live at the courthouse. And the defendant, as condition of bond, is ordered to appear both dates and time. He needs to appear at the courthouse. I cannot trust him not to appear at the courthouse. So make sure he's here at least at the courthouse. And if you want to be with him in person, that's fine too. Okay, so continued on your bond with those conditions. Anything else before we get to the other point at hand?
Not
No.
at this time, Your Honor.
All right, now the defendant was found in contempt multiple times. And still wouldn't quit disrespecting and disobeying the court until eventually he was ordered to reappear later the same day in person at 2:30 p.m. He told me he wasn't going to. He wouldn't tell me where he lived, where he worked, blatantly refused to answer any questions of his whereabouts or anything I asked of him. He continued to smoke during the Zoom, even though he'd been told not to. He continued to eat and take an enormous amount of drinks. And he continued to get in and out of his truck and walk around the job site, take his hard hat on, take it off, walk all about, all during other defendants' hearings. And then when his case was called, that's when he started becoming blatantly verbally disrespectful and telling the court how to do its job and not do its job. Throughout the docket, he was highly disrespectful and disruptive. He would talk over the court. He would make rude, personal, insulting, and disrespectful comments about and to the court. And ultimately, he was found in contempt to the point that he'd earned $500 in fines, and he was told to get that paid within a set time that he did not. He was told to appear later that day at 2:30 in person, which he did not. And then he saw Judge Rickey, Chief Judge David Rickey, on September 11th, and Judge Rickey found that he still had not paid the $500, and he gave him 1 week to get it paid. And in fact, he gave him an OR bond, which would have made it easier for him to pay the contempt within 1 week. He didn't pay it. He saw Judge Lee September 20th. Judge Lee said, well, he'll leave the contempt up to me when he sees me again. But he still hasn't paid it. Once again, he has totally disregarded court orders. So let's first deal with the consequences of his not paying, as multiple courts have ordered him to do. Then I want to address his direct contempt of not appearing when he was told to do later that day of August 14th. Now, whether we address Judge Rickey's orders that he violated, that we may postpone and let Judge Ricky decide if he wants to pursue that or if we want to go after him at a later date. But right now I want to focus on his contempt of court, where he has not paid the $500. That's another act of contempt, and is not appearing as he told me he wasn't going to do and didn't, even though I ordered it. So let's start with why he hasn't paid, followed by why he didn't follow my order to appear. Counsel?
First, Your Honor, I do know that he would like to apologize to you if you'd allow him to do that. And he doesn't have an explanation that's going to justify his conduct, nor is he going to try to. But I know he wants to apologize. I mean, the money's one thing. He doesn't have a lot of money, but his conduct is something he can control no matter what. I do, if you allow him the opportunity to address you, I think we'd like to start there if that's okay with Your Honor.
Well, normally I appreciate a kind apology, but frankly, I'm not sure it's going to be sincere, and I don't want it unless it's sincere, Mr. Zolator. I sense if he makes an apology, it's going to be because his attorney told him that he needs to do that.
Well, Your Honor, I would throw it at your feet, let him apologize, and whether you find it sincere or not, I mean, I can't make that judgment for you. I think you know that, but I'm not trying to speak for you. I'm not sure what else I'm supposed to do other than let him. I mean, I will stand away and let him make his remarks.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Phillips.
I would just like to say I am very sorry for my actions that day. Again, me apologizing doesn't give my actions justification in any means or in any grounds. I disrespected you, your court, your officer here, the DA, and I've been under a lot of stress working out of town, very many hours with very little pay, and there's no excuse for it. It's just more bad things happening combinedly, and it all came out in the very wrong place, wrong time with the wrong person. And I am very sincere in my apologies. Not when all this happened, I wanted to apologize, and even if you go ahead and read the other cases. When the other judge sentenced me when I was in Butler County, I was even apologizing then. I think I had the same district attorney there where I was trying to apologize, at least to you, if not to you, to someone that can actually hear the apology without someone sitting next to me trying to say, maybe he had, someone tell him to do it or whatever. I am very sorry. I mean, my actions are out of line and there is no excuse for it. I'm truly sorry for disrespecting you personally and the court as well.
Well, I think the whole day of August 14th started off bad because I have a note that before court even, you had called the one of the clerks and informed her you weren't coming to court because you were working in Independence, Kansas. And she explained to you that you could appear by Zoom and gave you the codes. And we weren't sure based on your conversation that you were going to appear, but you did appear by Zoom, and then the rest of it went from there. So why did you not, I'll strike that, you still have not paid the $500, and no matter how sorry you are, your conduct was outrageous, and it's not going to be just excused. You've had since August 14th to pay that. You gave me the impression that you were a powerful employee of a well-to-do company and you were making good money, that you emphasized you were the supervisor. And you showed me by walking around that you did have a crew there. Now you're saying you're underpaid. Are you going to offer the underpayment as justification for not following my order or Chief Judge Ricky's to get that paid?
She's asking you why you haven't paid.
No, Your Honor. When we were in court that day, you said I had to pay it or do 3 days in jail. And that's the whole reason. I mean, if you go back in the Zoom videos,
Was that your understanding?
That was my understanding. That was my sincere understanding. So when I went back in front of that judge, I was asking the same questions, like, do I still have to pay this, or what's going on, because it was 3 days, I did 6. I just don't understand. And he said, we're gonna let you decide that, because I'm still willing to pay it, but my understanding.
Excuse me, sir, that is what the third judge said. Chief Judge Ricky told you September 11th, you would pay it within 1 week. He didn't give you any jail time, and I don't think I did either, because I told you to be here that day at 2:30, and you didn't show up or pay. So I don't buy that you misunderstood, and that somewhere are you saying you think you paid it because you got arrested and had to serve a little time before the judge saw you?
Well, yeah, I thought it was like.
So you not only misunderstood me, you misunderstood Chief Judge Ricky when he said you pay that $500 within the week. Is that a yes? Is that a no?
Well, I didn't know if I was waiting to see if I could. Well, yes, because it was the 5, and then he said something about $1,000, and I wasn't asking then. I'm confused.
And Your Honor, I certainly can help him understand the situation. I can tell the court that he's done 6 days, which wasn't part of the order. It was money, and he's done 6 days, which I think is, a bigger sanction than $500. He's certainly telling me, and I know he's got someone here with him, that they can get that paid, and they will pay it. It was, you can judge this as sincerity, Judge, and it doesn't sound like you're buying it. That's fine. I understand that. But this all resulted from his behavior that day. And I hope at least I did find that sincere, but maybe you don't, of the way his conduct, and he can't excuse that. The money, it sounds like he was confused whether you buy that or not. I don't know. But he did do 6 days on a driving while suspended case. It normally carries a 2-day minimum. And that's, well, yeah, but actual serve time anyways.
All right, we won't get into that. Okay. Well, I think it's clear that I ordered him to pay $500, and it is well past the date he was to pay it. I think it's clear Judge Ricky told him to pay it. It's not what he thinks, it's what the judge says. So is he going to pay that today, counsel?
He does not have $500 today. It doesn't sound like.
I could pay something.
Can you pay anything?
I could pay something.
Well, you're able to pay a pretty prestigious attorney there, and you're able to talk the judge into giving you $1,000 OR bond so that you can pay it, and you still haven't paid it. I question your sincerity if you intend to pay it. I thought somebody was implying you had someone there to help you pay it.
No, I was talking. If you can give me a second, Your Honor.
All right.
If you live in an Alabama zip code and have 0 DUIs in the last 5 years.
Your Honor, I'm being told they can make a $200 payment today.
And the other 30?
And they can pay that within, if you give them 30 days, they'd have the other 300 paid off.
The time he spent in jail was for failing to appear at a designated court date. It doesn't address necessarily any subsequent contempt. I will allow him to pay the $200 today with the remaining 3 to be paid in full by what date did we give him? February? I'm not going to give him that long. Within 30 days, he must have the $300 paid in full. That means it must be paid by December 13th, 2024, or I will find him in further contempt. And then I want to address his failure to follow my instructions to appear at the courthouse later that day. I will hold off on that issue until I see how he behaves from this day forward on this case and whether he pays as ordered. And this is the last one. He's going to be doing more contempt jail time if he doesn't get that paid as ordered in 30 days.
Understood.
Okay? So apparently he will stay out on his $1,000 OR bond that he convinced Judge Ricky to issue if he had that paid within a week. And he didn't. Anything else, counsel, that we need to address?
Not for purposes of today's hearing, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right. Mr. Phillips, are you still employed by that same company?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, why don't you tell me that since you wouldn't before?
Yes, ma'am. The same people that are doing your guys' water system here.
Okay. And where are you living now? Oh, stop. You're on YouTube. Is it the same address you put on that OR bond? That Judge Ricky had you sign?
I think I have a copy, Your Honor, for you a second.
Yeah, it is. It's the same one.
Yes. You don't want to.
Now, Trooper Lieber, I did not ask you, and you've sat here all this time since 1:30 or before. Are you available for jury trial if it goes in February? Because if I need to set it for jury trial, it will be February 4th and 5th. We haven't gotten there, but if I need to, are you available?
Yes, ma'am. We'll make it work.
All right. Well, thank you for your patience and dedication to this case, for being here. I'm going to let you go at this time unless Mr. Regier needs you for anything else.
Not to my knowledge, Judge. I believe this is the last case on this afternoon's docket.
All right. And do you have anything else on this matter, Mr. Regier?
Not to my knowledge, Judge. I believe the court has already addressed the prior goings on in this case far better than I can.
All right. Mr. Zolator, anything further?
Your Honor, I was just conferring with the deputy. You just said 4th and 5th, the jury trial. We had written down the 5th and 6th. We just want to make sure.
It is the 5th and 6th, Trooper Lieber. It is the 5th and 6th. Now, one more question I have. I show that there was to be a cash-only bond of $500, but that he paid the $1,000 OR. So, Jen, can you look at that screen and tell me anything about why that's inconsistent? Is it because the judge changed it, maybe?
Your Honor.
Yes.
You're referring to his OR bonds?
Right. So
Judge Ricky set his OR bond, so he didn't have to put up any money. He just had to sign the paper to leave.
Okay. He didn't have to put up any money, but he was ordered to pay the $500.
Yes. Now, if he fails to appear in the future, the county attorney can go after the $1,000.
Okay. All right. There you have it. So if there's nothing further, Mr. Zolator, you and your client are excused, as is Trooper Lieber.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you all. And this docket is adjourned for today. Did you?
Is the clerk's office still open?
Yes,
Okay.
till 5.
All right. They're going to make the payment.
In a world where you've constantly been told what you can't do, who will you choose to be when presented with something different? Ask your healthcare provider what could be.
Build a website you love with Wix. For your words.
Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
Now we have 2023 TR 2837 on the record for Denisha Sue Kanaji. How do you pronounce that, please?
Kanaji.
Kanaji, okay. So, Mr. Jared Regier for the state, the defendant, Ms. Kanaji, in person and pro se. And we are here for another bench trial. This is for the sole count of speeding 81 and a 65. And Ms. Kanaji, the trooper, is present, and it looks like we're ready to go. Is the state prepared to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor. At this point, for purposes of clarifying the record, the state would be requesting the court make the ruling as to the issue of counsel, notwithstanding the fact that this is a case involving an infraction, as I understand it. Additionally, I would note for purposes of the record that I am not sure if the issue of diversion was discussed at the previous hearing, nor do I appear to be in receipt of any applications for such diversion. As the court is well aware, it is a pretrial diversion, which does appear to be the purpose of today's hearing.
All right, Ms. Ganaji, when you were here June 5th, 2024, I asked you if, for some reason, there was a discussion about court-appointed attorney, and we talked about you sending your contact to the clerk's office to get an application, but this is not a case in which you would be entitled to a court-appointed attorney. In fact, I can't appoint one for speeding, so I'm not sure what that was about. But you do have the right to hire an attorney. Did you wish to hire an attorney?
No, but I was not told that I needed an attorney.
You don't need one. You're welcome to represent yourself just as you're doing. So the other question is, we probably talked about diversion, where if you pay for your fines and costs and pay a diversion fee, the state may dismiss your case. And,
I don't recall that either.
all right, well, that is an option depending on what your history is, and it looks like you're within their speed guidelines.
Well, what I do recall last time was that because I was telling you that it wasn't me.
All right, there you go.
And then you said
that's
something
right
about time card because I live in Oklahoma, bringing any evidence, and then you gave me a number to call, and no one picked up. And then also I got a email address to send items, but I didn't get a response.
Okay. Is that 437 one of your numbers, Destiny?
The 4370 is, Judge, and I believe I emailed the defendant twice. One was that court-appointed attorney, as it was the order at the time, but I never got a response on that email. And then the other one was for her Zoom codes for today.
Yes, ma'am. That same day, I thank you for that. It was two emails on that same day that I received. And then probably 2 weeks later, I did my time card and then also my bank statement because, I make a lot of do a lot of banking or whatever. And it was showed you that I was in Oklahoma at that time.
Okay, I do remember now. For some reason that part of the notes aren't showing, but I remember it that we did set it for trial. So because we talked about the state would have to be able to prove it was you or you wouldn't be convicted.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's why we're set for trial, is because you don't believe you were the one stopped?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
All right. Did you contact Mr. Regier or Mr. Cartwright, either one, to tell them that you thought you'd been impersonated?
No, I do not have neither one of their numbers. I just had that 430770 number, and then I had the email.
Okay. All right. Well, Mr. Regier, I believe, let me see if that was you present.
I believe so.
Yes, it was you, Mr. Regier. Do you remember the conversation that was had in court that day? And if you do you know if there was any follow-up on her allegations, or do you want to just go right into trial and not address that?
Your Honor, the note based off of the notes that I have, It would appear that the defendant did raise certain allegations at the previous hearing. It looks like the court did address the issue of certain filings that the defendant would make. As in my role as prosecutor, I do not represent her in these proceedings. The state's understanding is that there have been no additional filings with the court other than the original citation, as well as the subpoenas issued by my office and the return on the same. So in the absence of any evidence to the contrary, the state is prepared to proceed to trial.
Are you going to be presenting any kind of video of the stop or anything like that, Mr. Regier?
Your Honor, the state has subpoenaed Trooper Cartwright, and he will be the sole witness for purposes of today's hearing.
So does that mean you will or will not be offering any video evidence?
Your Honor, at this time, the state does not intend to present any video exhibits.
All right, very well. Well, Ms. Clark, they're ready to go to trial. The burden's on them. You said you had some documents. Typically, well, are you ready to go to trial, Miss? I've said Miss Clark. Apparently, you go by Clark now.
Well, I always went by Clark. Well, oh my God! I'm so sorry, Judge. I am so sorry.
So who is Kanaji?
It's Kanaji. Oh my God! Yeah, it's in this long, hard deal. I just got married, and I'm in the midst of changing over the last name. So I'm so sorry. So sorry.
Okay. Well, I'll try not to use them interchangeably. We typically go by what is on the charging document. Okay, so are there any opening statements?
Your Honor, the state would waive opening statements at this time.
All right. Ms. Kanaji, opening statement as to what you think the evidence would show. You are welcome to make that statement or wait for your testimony.
Hey everyone, today I'm breaking down the top 5 collagen powders of the year and why the #1 pick.
I will wait.
Okay. Then Mr. Regier, you may call your first witness.
Yes, Your Honor. The state calls Trooper Brian Cartwright to the stand.
Okay, Trooper, would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God?
I do.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would you please state your name for the record?
Brian Cartwright.
And where are you employed?
I'm employed by the Kansas Highway Patrol here in Kansas.
And what is your professional title in that capacity?
I'm currently a master trooper.
Okay. And how long have you worked as an officer?
I've been a certified law enforcement officer in Kansas since 2016. I've been with the Highway Patrol since 2019.
So approximately 8 years overall?
Correct.
Okay. Were you on active duty in your professional capacity on August 22nd, 2023 at approximately 3:35 p.m.?
I was.
And where were you at that time?
Would have been on US 400 east of Leon.
And US 400 east of Leon, were you still in Butler County?
Correct.
Okay. And were you in a vehicle or on foot when you say you were patrolling?
I was in a vehicle.
Okay. Do you recall if you were moving or stationary at the time?
I believe I would have been moving.
Okay. And do you recall which direction you were headed?
According to my notes, I would have been westbound.
Okay. So where you were at, if we could focus on that for a moment, could you please describe your general surroundings for the court as you recall them?
Yes, U400 in that area is a 2-lane highway. There are a few houses in the area. It's not super populated, pretty rural.
So besides a generally rural area, as appears to be your testimony today, and the 2-lane highway, would you describe U400 at this location as curving generally or more of a straight shot?
At milepost 308, which I believe is where this occurred, it's a straight shot.
Do you recall if there are any trees nearby in this location?
Not any in that particular area.
Okay.
That are anywhere near the road.
Are you familiar with KSA 8-1558?
Yes.
And what does that say about drivers and maximum speed limits?
It says something to the effect of the posted maximum speed limit is the maximum speed limit. Anything in excess of that is a violation of that statute.
And are operators of motor vehicles required to abide by these maximum speed limits?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, I respectfully request the court take judicial notice of KSA 8-1558.
So taken.
Master Trooper, do you consider yourself capable of identifying traffic violations when you see them?
Yes.
On the date and time we've been talking about, August 22nd, 2023 at approximately 3:35 p.m., did you personally see any acts that you consider traffic violations?
Yes, I observed I believe it was a 2020 Nissan Altima traveling eastbound. Appeared to be traveling at a high rate of speed.
Okay. Did you ever see this Nissan pass your vehicle?
It was going the opposite direction of me, so it did pass my vehicle.
Okay. When you say the Nissan passed your vehicle, how close would you say?
It was in the opposite lane, going eastbound. I was westbound.
Okay.
So, as far as those two lanes are separated.
Okay. Do you recall if there were any other vehicles nearby when this passing took place?
According to my notes, there were two vehicles in front of this vehicle that this vehicle was catching up to.
Okay. And when you say in front of, where were these other two vehicles compared to the Nissan?
They were also eastbound, just further to the east of that vehicle.
Okay. When the Nissan passed your patrol vehicle, were there any vehicles between you and the Nissan?
Like in the center line?
Yes.
No.
Okay. On August 22nd, 2023, at approximately 3:35 p.m., can you confirm that the stalker radar was working properly?
Yes.
And how do you know that?
Because I had tested it that day at the beginning and end of my shift.
Mm-hmm. Can you confirm that the Nissan was specifically clocked by the stalker radar?
It was the only vehicle at the time that I was actually checking.
Okay. Where you were at on US 400, what is the posted speed?
65.
And what speed did the stalker radar measure the Nissan driving at?
81 miles per hour.
Okay. Did you ever successfully conduct a traffic stop on the Nissan?
I did.
Do you recall where this traffic stop took place?
I believe by the time I caught up to them, it would have been approximately milepost 309.
Okay. And milepost 309, is that still in Butler County?
It is.
Once you conducted the stop, were you able to identify the driver of the Nissan?
Yes, the driver handed me an Oklahoma driver's license that reasonably matched the driver.
Okay. And do you see the driver of the Nissan present in the Zoom conference?
Yes.
Okay. Can you point the driver out and give a brief description for the court?
Denisha Clark is the name on her window, and I believe she's wearing a black tank top. There's a blue background behind her.
Your Honor, let the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
The record shall so reflect.
Were you ever able to speak to the defendant personally?
Yes.
Did you discuss the defendant speeding?
Yes.
And do you recall how the defendant responded?
According to my notes, she said something to the effect of not realizing she was going that fast.
Okay. And did you ultimately write the defendant a citation for speeding?
Yes.
Barring and a redirect, no further questions.
Okay, Miss Clark Kanaji, at this time you can ask the officer questions about what he just testified to. It's not your time to make your statement, but if you have questions about what he said, this is your time to ask them, and he is still under oath.
Okay, thank you. Officer, was it video present? Was your camera on or your vehicle camera on? Was it present? Like,
Okay, let him answer the question. Did you have a camera?
Yes, we have an in-car camera. However, we have a retention policy for speeding citations or speeding videos that we tag that way. And because I didn't get the subpoena for this until June of this year, I didn't know I needed to save it. And so it's been purged from our system. I don't have access to it anymore.
how will we know if you actually asked for a driver license?
I ask for it on every traffic stop.
Well, but how would we know? Because that's what you're saying, but
All right, you're argumentative. Yeah, you're arguing with him. You've asked your question. He's answered it, but you can't sit there and argue back and forth.
No. I do apologize. I was not trying to argue.
That's all right. Go ahead.
I put this in my ears, and I haven't asked anyone to repeat themselves in over 3 months. This is magic. I would.
So you've asked him if he had a video. You've asked him about the driver's license. Any other questions?
So is it any documentation that says that you actually did, or is it just your notes that says that you asked for a physical driver license?
Like I said, I asked for that on every traffic stop, and if you didn't have a driver's license with you, I would have issued a citation for not having a driver's license in possession.
Approximately how old was this person that you stopped at that day?
According to the driver's license information, approximately 40.
How old do they appeared in person?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
I'd say it's very relevant since she's saying it wasn't her. She's questioning the license, overruled.
Like I mentioned earlier, the driver's license that was handed to me reasonably matched the person that I was interacting with.
You say reasonably matched. How was that person's hair on that day?
I don't recall.
Did you ask about the hair?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And that person did not look younger than 43.
No, not to what I could tell.
Did that person have any gray hair?
I don't recall.
Okay. Did that person have a ponytail?
I don't recall the hairstyle or anything about her hair.
So approximately, well, that's not in question. And it wasn't a paper copy of a driver license, or that person just didn't give you a telephone, I mean, not a telephone, but a name. It was a physical driver license.
Correct.
Do you mind if I ask you what color of the background on the driver license was it?
I don't recall, but typically Oklahoma driver's licenses are either yellow or red. The red ones are, I believe, usually the IDs rather than a driver's license.
Do you recall which color was it?
I don't recall. I would imagine it was probably the yellow one since it wasn't, I don't have any notes or anything or citations for it being suspended or not being a driver's license.
Was it a Oklahoma Real ID?
I don't recall.
But you put in your notes that it was a driver license, but you don't recall if it was the red, the beige, or even the blue, because at that time they was going through the real ID.
Objection, Your Honor, testifying on cross.
Sustained. You can't do that.
So you don't recall if it was the red background, the blue background, or the beige background. It was just ID.
I don't recall. All I have is the driver's license number on my citation. I don't know which color it would have been.
Okay. Do you know if Oklahoma has the same driver license as their ID numbers?
I'm sorry, what was the first part of your question?
Do you know if Oklahoma, their cards, ID cards, is the same number as that ID card, and their driver license? Is that the same number?
I don't know how Oklahoma does all of that.
Did you ask that person to step out the vehicle?
No,
Did you ask for insurance?
I would have asked for insurance, yes.
Did that person give you insurance?
I don't recall. Believe this was also no, it was a Kansas license plate. So I assume they handed me insurance then. If not, then I probably checked on the registration to see if it showed up on there. And if it did, I didn't issue it. Let me put it this way, if no proof of insurance had been provided to me, I would have issued a citation for no proof of insurance. And I don't have that on here.
But you don't recall them giving you insurance?
Objection. Relevance. This is a speeding trial.
Well,
the reason why is because.
Objection.
I'm going to overrule the objection. You can pursue it. In other words, you can pursue your question.
Yeah, I'm just trying to tie it together because.
Okay. I'll give you time to think. That's fair. Reasonable.
So in your records, you put down they personally gave you an ID.
In my notes, it doesn't say that.
Okay.
The only notes I have on my citation are related to the speed. However, I have a driver's license information on here, and if I had not received a driver's license, I would have issued a citation for no driver's license in possession.
So in your records, their insurance came back as the same person.
All I know for the insurance purposes, like I said, are if I had not been provided any proof of insurance whatsoever, then I would have issued a citation for no proof of insurance as well. And since that's not on here, I'm assuming I was provided proof of insurance.
If you live in an Alabama zip code and have 0 DUIs in the last 5 years,
can you make a mistake with the people?
Sure, anybody can make a mistake.
Have you ever been given a false documentation?
No, I've not.
Can you explain what you mean by giving false documentation, Ms.?
That person who gave him the information was not the right person.
And is that the question you answered, Trooper?
Yes, to my knowledge, I have never been handed a fake driver's license or something to that effect.
But you don't recall them giving you a piece of paper?
Objection, Your Honor. Asked and answered.
Sustained.
I just want to make it clear.
Your Honor.
Well, let her state what her point is.
Because this trial is about it's the wrong person. And I just want to make it clear that.
Well, are you asking a new question or just repeating one of the other ones?
Just making it clear, Judge. I'm sorry.
Your Honor, asked and answered and testifying on cross.
All right, we'll sustain that and move along.
On the registry, what was the name?
Judge, if you're all right with me giving the registered owner's name on this, I will.
The registered owner?
Correct. of the vehicle as it appears now. I don't recall if this is what it showed at the time.
Your Honor, the state would request a ruling as to whether that is relevant for purposes of today's proceedings.
Okay, do I understand, officer, you're trying to refresh your recollection of who the registered vehicle was on August 22nd, 23, and you don't have independent recollection, but by looking at who the registration records are today, you can do that, is that correct?
Correct.
And your objection to that is what, Mr. Regier?
Your Honor, relevance on the grounds that that information concerning who the registered vehicle owner is now may not accurately reflect who the registered owner was at the time of August 22nd, 2023.
Well, that is a valid point, but at the same time, the defendant is saying she wasn't driving the vehicle. If she hears the name of who the vehicle belongs to, she might help figure out who that person is, if she knew him, or I think that it is relevant. So in that regard, I'm going to overrule it, but I'm not sure I want the registered name on YouTube. Can we go off of YouTube for about just a couple seconds, Missy? All right, I believe we're back on YouTube. Officer, you've given us the name and city and state of the registered owner at this time, but you cannot tell us for sure if that's what you found on August 22nd of 2023?
Correct.
And you can't say whether or not the driver gave you the registration, or if you
I don't typically ask for registration. I just ask for driver's license and insurance.
Okay.
The only time I would ask for registration is if there was an issue like it is showing expired on the tag, or the tag doesn't come back to the vehicle.
All right, thank you, Ms. Kanaji.
Officer, do you know Oklahoma's law about driver insurance and registration?
Your Honor, relevance.
He can answer it.
I'm not aware of all of their laws. I'm not a law enforcement officer in Oklahoma.
So you are not aware that you have to have, if you're operating
Don't testify. You can testify.
Well, it's a question. It's a question.
Yeah, but aren't you testifying what their law is? Isn't that what you're getting ready to do?
Okay. Okay. It's your voice. Was it high or was it raspy?
I'm sorry, you cut out for a second. I couldn't hear you.
The person who you stopped on August the 22nd, how was her pitch or voice?
I don't recall.
Okay.
After I had my kids, I hit a wall I'd never encountered before.
Do you recall her murmuring?
No, I don't.
Do you recall her saying, "Excuse me," or "Can you speak up," or?
I don't.
How did she hand you the documents? Was it with her left hand or the right hand?
I don't recall.
When you ask her name, what name did she use?
I don't typically ask the name as long as they hand me a driver's license.
Okay. Well, whenever you went to go check everything in your car and came back, how did you pronounce her?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
What name?
Overruled.
Okay.
That means you can pursue it. His objection is overruled. Your question can stand.
So your question is, how did I pronounce her name?
Well, not even pronounce her name. But when you said, "Here's your da-da-da about Miss da-da-da. What was that da-da-da-da, Miss da-da-da-da? What was that?
I typically just hand them back their driver's license, say, here's this back for you, or something to that effect. I don't typically use their name.
So you didn't make small talk at all, or you didn't ask her where she's from?
Part of the reason I don't typically say their name is for fear of mispronouncing it. So I don't typically say their name. I don't know if I made small talk or not on this particular traffic stop. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I don't know on this particular one.
Okay. So you don't recall where did she say she was coming from?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do y'all have a military base around that area?
Your Honor, the state would like to know where this is going.
Ms. Clark or Ms. Kanaji, do you want to offer why that might be relevant?
Because I called the district attorney and I told them that I think I know who it is. And that's the reason why it took so long for it to come to trial, because it was like no conversations. And
okay, but what does that have to do with military bases?
Because I was wondering how many more citations was written around the same time to Black females.
So are you abandoning that question and not going to pursue it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you're asking the officer what now?
How many citations was written around the same time within a 3-hour window to African Americans?
Objection, Your Honor, outside the scope.
No, I think it's a fair question. Since it's an identity issue, I think that's a fair question. Go ahead, ma'am. Overruled, in other words.
Was that all your whole question, ma'am?
Yes. How many citations did you write on that day, the August the 22nd, within 3-hour period?
I don't have that information.
Okay. Do you recall writing any citations to another African American female?
I don't recall. This was almost a year ago. I've stopped close to 1,000 or more cars since then. I really don't know.
Okay. I don't believe I have anything else, Judge.
All right, thank you. Mr. Regier, have you any redirect?
Yes, Your Honor. Trooper Cartwright, if you had not been provided a driver's license at a traffic stop, do you habitually write defendant citations for no valid driver's license, in your case, a 8235?
I typically do, unless I'm able to pull up a DL photo of them at the time. And if I'm not able to do it, then I will issue it that way. They have to show proof that that was them to the court.
Okay. And suppose that they didn't have proof, but you were able to make such a retrieval of information. Would you cite them for any other violations? If you were able to confirm a driver's license, but suppose an individual during a traffic stop didn't have it with them, would you write them for any other violations?
Not for anything driver's license related, unless there was an issue with their driver's license, such as it being expired or suspended or something like that. Okay.
Trooper, are you familiar in this particular case, did you cite the defendant for anything driver's license or insurance related?
I did not.
Okay. And are you familiar, are you aware of any identity theft reports to law enforcement in this county concerning this defendant?
I'm not aware of any.
Direct, no further questions, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Clark, based on the questions that the prosecutor just asked, do you have any follow-up limited to that?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Mr. Regier, any further evidence?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. State rest?
State does so rest, Your Honor.
Uh-oh, I've seen how this ends.
Have you? You've
Yeah.
seen this film before?
I've seen this film before.
Yeah, shot.
All right, Ms. Ganaji, they have presented all the evidence they intend to present. Now, you can present evidence, including your testimony, if you want. You don't have to, and if you don't, it won't be held as a sign of guilt. But you are welcome to testify on your own behalf or call any other witnesses or present any documents or evidence subject to admissibility rules. Do you have any evidence?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, hold up. Let's take, are you going to call yourself as a witness?
Yes, ma'am.
Please raise your right hand. We're going to have to take an oath. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, please proceed. Tell us your name for the record.
My name is Denisha Kanaji. I'm going in the middle of changing it to Clark. So on my social security card, it says Clark. I have not gotten my ID to say Kanaji.
Now, when you say your ID, do you mean ID card or driver's license?
Driver license.
And I don't want you on YouTube to say your address, but your street address, but what town do you live in?
I live in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Live in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And how long have you lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma?
43 years.
43 years. All right. So why don't you go ahead and testify to what you want the court to consider that would be relevant to why we're here today.
Okay, so on August the 22nd, I work at a hospital. I clocked in at 8:08, took a lunch break at 12:37, clocked back in at 13:08, and out for the day at 4. I have my time paper in front of me.
Objection, Your Honor, not foundation, and I have not received a copy of any such exhibits.
Okay, where did you get these records, Miss?
Off the website of Coronos.
And what's Coronos?
Coronos is how a timesheet that the whole hospital uses. My manager, he uses, I put in my card by swiping my badge, and he, what they call it, posted where he says, okay, or that's how I get paid, I guess. I don't know how to explain that one.
Okay, so
it's a time that I don't have, I have access to look at the punches, but I don't have access to change them.
are those punches that you could call up right now if you wanted to?
Say that one more time.
Could you call up that website and those punches for the court right now if you wanted to?
I cannot.
Your boss there?
I have to be on
the hospital site?
Yes. Well, not even just the site. I have to be inside of the hospital to access their computer.
All
so
right.
It's not something I can do.
Well, they really are. What Mr. Regier is implying is inadmissible hearsay if we don't have the maker of the document or something a little more reliable. But you're testifying that those are what your records show. That you have firsthand knowledge of that's what the records show?
Yes.
Okay, and what town is that hospital in?
Tulsa.
Tulsa, okay. And this ticket was allegedly written at 15:35, which would be 3:35. Then your testimony is that your records show you were still at work from 13:08, which would be 1:08 to 4 p.m. That's your testimony?
Yes.
All right, well.
And Your Honor, if the court is going to be considering these statements, the state would request a ruling under KSA 60 subsection M about concerning business entities, specifically whether this is a qualified witness within the meaning of the statute, and to whether or not it has been shown that the alleged exhibits, quote, were made in the regular course of business at or about the time of the act, condition, or end been recorded, and to the source of information from which made and the method and circumstance of the preparation were such to indicate their trustworthiness.
All right, well, I'm not going to admit the records, but I am allowing her to testify to when she checked in and when she checked out. So go ahead with anything else you want to say.
Also on the same date, I swiped my credit card, which is a bank card, and I have those records also.
Again, Your Honor, foundation and hearsay.
All right, just testify to when you used your card, if you would.
I used my card approximately
Did you know that some dealerships will turn off the check engine light codes on their car?
12:35 and again at 5:08 in Tulsa. The 12:35 was at Hillcrest.
Is that the hospital?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The 5:08 was at QT, which is a gas station.
Okay. All right, well, we're not going to admit the records, but we're going to let you testify that you did use your card at those times. Go ahead.
To my knowledge, it takes over 4 hours to come from Tulsa to Kansas. So there's no possible way that I can be at that place. I guess it was a highway at that time. I have talking to a lady named Chrissy. I believe it's a lady named Chrissy, and I believe it's Christy. Chrissy, about sending items, but
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay. And
So she's saying that she talked to Chrissy. That's not inadmissible. Who is Chrissy?
that I don't know. Somewhere.
What office is she with? What's her relevance to this case, if any?
She's working in district attorney office.
You think she works in Mr. Regeer's office?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, now you can tell what you said to Chrissy, but you can't get into what Chrissy said. Because then that does cross over to the inadmissible hearsay. Unless Chrissy's available for a witness for you.
I've never been able to speak to Chrissy after that.
Okay,
But
so
I
you
tried
talked to
to
Chrissy.
do my-
Okay, hold on. You talked to Chrissy one time?
Yes.
And what was the purpose of that conversation?
She was okay. So when
What your purpose was? Why you called? Did you call her, or did she call you?
No, I called her
at the county attorney's office. Okay, and what was your purpose for calling her?
So I had got a letter in the mail, and the letter, it seems to me that it was already a case. And it was an amount of $198 that was owed, and I wanted to understand why. And then that's when I noticed that you guys, y'all system was down for quite a long time, months. And she told me, and which I did.
Let's get into what she told you.
I'm sorry. At that time, I would call every month, the first of the month, and ask, because this ticket was not in the system, or no one could pull it up. So I would call every month asking about the ticket, and nothing until I called back, and that's when they set it up.
Set up what?
A court date, the first court date.
Okay.
But I told Christy that I would be willing to do whatever it takes, because it was not me. And the reason why she was trying to get the original ticket, because at the district attorneys, they did not have access to the original ticket. And she wanted to know who wrote or she knew who wrote the ticket. But
Your Honor, hearsay.
All right, let's get away from what Chrissy said. But she couldn't produce the ticket for a while, and then go ahead.
And she was gonna get when I guess she needed.
Again, the state would at this time lodge a continuing hearsay objection.
And again, don't get into anything she said. I can't do that.
Understand.
So how many months did you keep trying to call the county attorney and figure this out?
Oh, over 6 months, Judge. I don't know exactly how long the system was down, but I called over 6 months. The same number. I only have two numbers that was given to me, and I know the first number I got bounced around because they couldn't find the ticket.
In a world where you've constantly been told what you can't do, who will you choose to be when presented with something different? Ask your healthcare provider what could be.
On August 22nd, I told viewers that the road to artificial general intelligence was already bringing.
And I got a website that was given to me that I gave the two same documents, or my time card and then my bank records. And on my bank records, it actually shows all of August. And the reason why I printed off all of August is to show that.
Again, Your Honor, testifying as to records,
She's just telling what she did. She's not telling what objection is overruled. Go ahead. What did you do? You gave all of August for what? What were you saying?
Because all of August, because I drive a 2015 Chevy Colorado. It's a smaller pickup, but I can't make it from here to Kansas and back from Kansas to here on one full tank. So I had to stop somewhere. But I gave all of my records, bank records from Bank of America, because it would have showed that I made a stop.
So it would have shown whether you did or didn't.
Well, I would have. If that
all
was
right. Well, okay. I don't want to get into what the record said, but you're saying you gave the records to someone so they could see if you'd made a stop or not.
Yes.
I can't say what the record said, but you can say, I gave them these records for this purpose. And who did you give them to? A reception at BUC. Okay. I know that address.
Subject Denisha Kanaji.
Okay, all right. So you sent, your testimony is, you sent your bank records and your time records to a reception, which would be the county attorney. I think I can take judicial notice. That's the county attorney's website that they have such things go to on a regular basis. Go ahead.
To show that I didn't make another gas stop along, I don't know what route that would be, but all of my stops was in Tulsa. It was not the surrounding areas or another state, but it was no reply.
And when did you do this?
Give me 1 second. This was in May.
Of what year?
23.
May of 23.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Judge, I'm sorry.
All right, well, the ticket was written for August of 23?
That I don't, 23. Has it been a year? Oh, I do apologize. It's 24. It was 2 weeks before my first Zoom call.
2 weeks before your first call, I could take judicial notice that your first appearance was June 5th of 24. Okay, go ahead with, is there anything else you want to say? I don't want to cut you short.
No, I don't know if I'm a little bit late or not, but somehow our wires got crossed.
Need a damn ticket.
But that was not my stop. That's not my car. That was not my stop. It was not me. It was not me. And my request is still to help out, you know, the district attorney to, I don't know, punish the right person who did this. Like I stood the first time I even called you guys. I had my suspicions then, and they couldn't tell me anything about the ticket except for it was a ticket. They could not tell me a date until later on, you know, within, 5 to 6 months, right before the first Zoom, that what was the actual time, the date and time. And they told me the state trooper's name, but they could not get a hold of him. But I still stand that I am willing to help out, but this was not me. At this point, it's just a principle for me. And on top of that, or whatever it is, me having points on my driver license, but it's just a principle now. Not all African Americans look the same. One of them is 30, one of them is 40, and I get it, the aging of people, but no. It's not the same. And I mean, I don't have records to the police department, or not the police department, but you guys' records to show how many people got stopped on that same road, and actually not even within hours, within minutes of each other. And I guarantee you that it was another person who got stopped at the same time, and I don't know what happened.
When we hit that first 1 million in sales in our first year of business, it was surreal. This is definitely going to be a thing.
I don't know how they got my information. I don't know. But it was not a physical driver license at all that he took. I'm positive about that one because mine was not yellow or tan at that time. I was going through the Real ID Act, and mine was blue. I can show you the background was blue because they cut it up. In Oklahoma, you have to have, if you're driving a car, and it was Oklahoma license plate. It was not Kansas City. The officer did say that it was a Kansas City tag. It was an Oklahoma tag. But in Oklahoma, you have to ride around with registration, driver license, and insurance. Those are the three things that they ask for. If you don't have your ID or your driver license, you have to prove to them your insurance and registration. And they cannot take it over the phone. So you have to physically have it in your car. And they had to show you that.
All right, Mr. Regier will now have the opportunity to ask you questions about your testimony. It's his time to cross-examine you like you had with the officer. Mr. Regier, cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. You mentioned during your direct testimony that you have no records. Have you filed any police reports concerning your identity with Butler County law enforcement?
At that, I tried to. So the answer is no, but I tried to. But your system was down. They said that they did not allow accept that. I called. I do apologize. I called, and they said they are not taking applications at this time.
Do you know whose number that was?
I just got it as an attorney, but I don't know.
All right, well, I'll take judicial notice that the county attorney's number is, you've got the area code kind of transposed there, but I'm taking judicial notice of what the county attorney's number is. Go ahead.
So your testimony here today is that you have never successfully filed a police report concerning your identity.
No, sir.
Okay.
Because I did not have any information at the time. You guys did not give me any information. I got 2 letters, and it just told me that I owe this amount. And at that time, your systems was down, so they couldn't give me no information like what was the make, model of the car. They only had the officer's name, and they had to wait until I think he works overnight or early morning, something like that. They had to wait until he had time to call them back.
Okay. And you also testified during your direct that you were not physically present. Or rather, let me rephrase. You testified on direct that you were not present at the stop, correct?
Correct.
Okay. But you also testified that the officer never took a physical driver's license. How would you know that?
I wouldn't know. He's the one who said it. He said he does not know. He does not recall. He didn't say he does not know. He said he does not recall taking a physical driver license. And that's the reason why I asked if it was a red, blue, or beige.
But your testimony is that you know that the officer never took a physical copy.
I don't know, but he's the one who said it. He was physically there, and he said he does not know that if he does not recall which one of those he took. But I'm positive he did not take my driver license because I physically had them in my purse.
How do you know that? How are you so positive?
Because whenever I go check out, I have to show an ID. I did not go to the lunchroom. I went to the gift shop, and in order to purchase anything from the gift shop at the hospital, you have to show ID. So I had it physically with me. And when I say my purse, I had it in a corn purse where I could just slip it in my uniform. So I had that with me. That's how I purchased my items at my job.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else you want to say in response to the questions he asked you?
No, ma'am.
All right. Any further evidence, Ms. Kanashi?
No, ma'am.
All right. Well, having listened to the testimony, the officer did say he he believed an Oklahoma driver's license that reasonably matched the driver. And I quote, reasonably matched. I think he was being candid, that was the best he could do by saying they reasonably matched. He couldn't say 100%, and I don't think that he could say 100% today, or even a high percentage as to whether or not this could have been another driver. Frankly, I have too much reasonable doubt left in my mind.
If you live in an Alabama zip code and have 0 DUIs in the last 5 years, listen.
I tend to find this woman very believable, that she's telling the truth. I think the officer is telling the truth as far as he knows what happened, but he's going by memory of what happened on a stop August of 2023, a year ago now. And as he said, he's had thousands of stops since then. And he's got records to help him, and he's doing the best he can. And I don't fault him, but I just cannot find beyond a reasonable doubt that this defendant is the one that was stopped by the trooper on August 22nd, 2023. And frankly, I'm very discouraged and concerned that she did make many efforts to contact the county attorney's office. It's obvious she didn't even know that a reception, she didn't even know what it was spelled. Apparently didn't realize it was a reception at bucks.com. I've heard that plenty of times on my dockets, that's where individuals are told to send documents to the county attorney. So I find her believable that she sent her time cards and her credit card receipts to show that she wouldn't have been there at the time of the ticket. And she didn't realize that the phone number, sounds like she had the area code kind of mixed up, but she certainly had the county attorney's telephone number. And furthermore, I was in charge of the hearing when she told us all of this information at the hearing on June 5th, 2024, that she was not the driver. And I just don't understand why it was a given that she was the driver and that there was no possibility that somebody could have been impersonating her. I think it would have been at least worth telling her to call the local law enforcement. I know when I was prosecutor, I was in this position many times that I'd hear this, and sometimes it panned out that they really were being impersonated. Sometimes it panned out that they were lying to me. And you just have to dig through it. I think the real item that would have helped all of us here today would have been if the trooper had known this was an issue soon enough that he could have maintained that video. I was really hoping we'd have the video and that it might cut through all of this. But as he explained, they don't keep those on a traffic ticket. Problem is, if she isn't the one that got the ticket, she wouldn't have known about it until it already went to the state. And then, as she said, our computer systems were down. We had that hack in all the state courts from October 12th through 2023 until sometime in January of 24 before we got back our systems. So I'm finding the defendant not guilty. You don't have to pay the fines or costs. That'll be all for this case. Master Trooper Cartwright, thank you for being here and giving us your testimony and your
Creators, take these 3 apps I built to run my business made with Base 44. They're ready for you.
Let's take up bench trial in Christopher Bush, case number 2023 TR 960, State of Kansas versus Christopher Lee Bush. Jared Regier appearing for the state, and Mr. Bush appearing in person and pro se. This does come on for bench trial on 1 count of speeding, 91 and a 75. Mr. Bush, are you still wanting your trial today?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you considered diversion, and are you interested in that before we begin?
No, Judge, I am not interested in a diversion, as I am ready to dispute my undisputed facts.
Very well.
Your Honor, the state would waive opening argument at this time.
Okay. And is it Dr. Bush? I notice you have the PhD behind you.
Yes, Dr. Bush, but it's fine if you want to call me Chris.
Okay, thank you. All right, and do you have any opening statements, sir?
No, I just have a question. Will I be able to share my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes. All right, Mr. Regier, if you'll call your first witness, please.
Yes, Your Honor. The state calls Trooper Gage Cole to the stand. Please state your name for the record.
Gage Cole.
And where are you employed?
I'm a trooper with Kansas Highway Patrol.
And how long have you worked as an officer?
A little over 4 years. Yeah, I-35 is a 2-lane divided highway, 2 lanes designated for southbound travel and 2 lanes for northbound travel.
Would you describe this general area as open and rural?
Yes.
And did any of these aspects of the location that you've already mentioned impair your field of vision in any way?
No. On I-35, the speed limit is 75 miles an hour.
And are drivers expected by law to comply with these maximum speed limits?
Yes, sir.
Trooper, do you consider yourself capable of identifying traffic violations when you see them?
Yes, sir.
And are you current on your continuing education requirements?
Yes, sir.
At the time, March 12th at 10:31 a.m., did you see any acts that you consider traffic violations?
Yes, sir.
And what did you see?
I saw a vehicle just shortly, a couple minutes before that. I noticed a black SUV traveling behind me. I was stationary at the 65 and I noticed that vehicle come up behind me at 93 miles an hour.
Okay. And this black SUV, do you remember what the make of this black SUV was?
I believe it was a Buick, sir. I was sitting stationary observing traffic when I noticed it come up behind me at 93 before slowing down.
As you pursued the Buick, were you traveling northbound or southbound?
I was traveling southbound, attempting to catch up to the Buick.
Okay. And were there any other vehicles on the road at the time?
Yes, sir.
Now I want to talk about, you mentioned already that at the rest area, you measured the Buick speed at 93 miles per hour. Did you use any specialized equipment to make that determination?
I used a Stalker DSR-2X radar.
Is Stalker radar something you are certified to use?
Yes, sir.
Do you use testing on the Stalker radar to check that it's working?
Yes, sir. Every day
And,
before shift.
Before every shift? Okay. And what does this testing typically entail?
We have a 25 mile an hour tuning fork and a 40 mile an hour tuning fork. And it basically just, we turn on both our front radar and our rear radar, and we switch between stationary and moving and use the 25 and 40 tuning forks to make sure that the violator and patrol speed is accurate.
Okay. And can you confirm that the Buick was specifically clocked by the Stalker radar?
Yes, sir.
And how do you know that?
It was passing every other car on the roadway.
As you were pursuing the Buick, did you ever see the Buick pull away from all other vehicles on the road?
Yes, sir.
And did you clock the Buick speed while there were no other vehicles around?
Yes, sir. I believe so. I'm not entirely sure on when I had locked the vehicle speed. I locked it several times while he was passing other traffic.
And what is the posted speed where you were at?
75 miles an hour, sir.
You see the driver of the Buick present in the Zoom conference.
Yes, sir.
Can you please point them out and give the court a brief description?
Yes, sir. It's Chris Bush, and he's wearing glasses.
Your Honor, let the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
The record shall so reflect.
Were you ever able to speak to the defendant?
Yes, sir.
And did you discuss the defendant's speeding?
Yes, sir.
And how did the defendant respond?
I believe he stated that he was going 80 miles an hour. Yes, I believe in my notes. That's what I had put down.
Barring any redirect, no further questions.
Thank you. Dr. Bush, your redirect.
I don't have a cross-examination, just ready to speak on my behalf.
Very well. Dr. Bush, this is now your time to present your evidence. Please proceed.
Are you able to see my screen?
I see your screen.
All right. So before I start, I just want to share, these are not the actual vehicles that you're seeing here. This represents the black vehicle that I was in, the Buick that Officer Cole referenced. This referenced the police vehicle that Officer Cole talked about. This is the direction that I was traveling.
Your Honor.
Bound, kind of like slightly heading west.
Okay, hang on just a moment, Mr. Regier.
During Hurricane Irma, we were sitting in bed watching television. I heard a loud explosion.
Your Honor, I most respectfully object to the introduction of this exhibit. The defendant has not laid any foundational testimony, and I myself have not seen this exhibit before now.
All right, well, Dr. Bush, can you go ahead and just tell us first what happened, and then if the illustration helps you in your testimony, that would be fine.
Okay, let me stop sharing then.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to go off of what I have documented so I don't miss anything. I'm first going to talk about my undisputed facts, which Officer Cole kind of referenced as well. Officer was facing southeast. I was traveling south, slightly based, going a little bit like west based on how the curvature is. The speed limit was 75, that's on the highway. Officer confirmed that he clocked me speeding when I passed by. The officer later stated he clocked me speeding while driving behind me. The discrepancy in his statement to me, which one? Officer stopped me well past where he said he clocked me, approximately about 2 miles from the food and rest stop of the area that he stated he clocked me speeding. Both times I passed the officer when I was in the left lane while he was pointed southeast, observing oncoming traffic off the top of the hill who would not be able to see him as they're coming on from the rest stop. Now, I began to talk about my statement. I want you all to think about this questions here. What is the left lane used for when you're on a highway? If the speed limit is 75 and a person is traveling and ready to pass the traveling individual in the right lane, do you stay the same speed as 75 to get past the person in the right lane in the 75? Or would you accelerate past 75? You heard officer stated that I said I was going about 80. So remember that. The speed limit can be undetermined when you're passing someone in the left lane. However, it must be reasonable. Now, my stance on this, if indeed the officer clocked me going over the speed limit at the time he said, first, he got me when he passed me by while he was facing southeast. I understand this is something that could be done. However, from my research, talking with colleagues who are law enforcement officers and troopers, it is more likely than not that they would have been paying attention unless I was at very excessive speeds traveling on the highway pretty much by myself, where it would have been alerted by peripheral vision or the sound of my vehicle going by so fast. Secondly, if the officer clocked me going over the speed limit while he was following me, his second statement, which prompted me to even more inform him, I would challenge the ticket based on his inconsistency of when he said he clocked me. Again, I saw him pull up and I shared with my sons, there's an officer that was sitting at the stop that Officer Cole talked about. I showed them before we even approached him, telling my sons, you see the officer sitting there? He's going to get someone coming off the top of the hill. My last point goes back to my question about what is the left lane used for? Me often in practicing looking in my mirrors, I always looking at all mirrors to see what's coming in view. I was already in the left lane, continuing to educate my sons, when you're about to pass a semi, do not hang around. Get past them, especially before coming to a curb. My point here, I was in the progress of passing cars and semis. That was one of the other things where I had to proceed to get past all of the vehicles that was like on the right side so that I can get back over to the right side. To give myself enough space, I had to go about a 2-car length and then said to my sons, I think the same officer we saw sitting about a mile or 2 miles away is behind me. I proceeded to get into the right lane. The officer then sped up, not directly beside me, just enough to be able to see me from the second row. And then he stopped. Then he got behind me. Then he pulled me over. I rest my case.
Okay, cross-examination, Mr. Regier.
And if I can pull up my picture again, I will. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead. I'm going to allow him to present his picture. It's really no different than letting him draw on a chalkboard, other than he's got the little cars. So go ahead. But you are going to have to tell us what direction is which on your map. And
oh, you said go ahead and pull it up?
Yeah, go ahead.
Your Honor, if the court is going to allow the introduction of this exhibit, I would respectfully request leave that a continuing objection be noted on the record.
That will be noted, yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Tell me what it is that you have here. This is a handmade drawing with some...
Correct, Judge. So what I have here is what Officer Cole explained. It is just a rough draft of the drawing. Up here, I just put up a little red square. That's where the rest stop would be that he also shared, that I shared as well.
Excuse me just a moment. Is north up or down? Where's north on your map?
South would be up, north.
Is that south up instead of north?
Yeah, just based on the way that the way that this is like positioned here. So this is considered me traveling south.
All right.
And Officer Cole, as he stated, sitting southbound. So I'm traveling south, heading back towards Wichita, coming from Topeka, Kansas. So you see the divided highway here on the west side. This is the east side that will be traveling north. I'm traveling south. Officer Cole.
Excuse me again, sir. I think I can use common knowledge and sense and my judicial notice that that's not the way I-35 looks, because it's a 4-lane highway and your drawing looks like it reflects a 2-lane.
Well, like I said, it was a rough draft. So I'm giving the visual of like how I was driving and where he was sitting, which is in the pocket here. Here's the actual locations that we talked about. The rest area, here's where he was sitting. Like he stated, he was faced this way. He stated that he saw me pass by, but in his statement that his back radar caught me going past. So this is what you're actually seeing here. This is not
Which lane were you supposed to, okay, are you agreeing or disagreeing that it's a 4-lane highway with a concrete barrier?
I'm agreeing that it is a 4-lane highway, but I was in the left side. So it's a 2-way traveling.
Okay.
Then it's 2-way coming. So you can be in the right lane, as I stated in my statement, right lane or left lane. This will be the right side. This will be the left side. I was in the left side passing Officer Cole. So so if you go back to my statement, I talked about being in the left lane the entire time. When he stated that he saw me, like when he said he heard or saw me go past him with his radar, and then when he was following me, I was in the left lane. 70.
Are you saying that those little yellow dotted lines
are I know the vehicle that I have here with my car it was not big enough to put on the left side because of how I drew this out here. 35 is a 2-lane highway. You can either be in the left.
It's a 4-lane highway. This drawing is too confusing, sir, because I have driven that road too many times. I know that it's a 4-lane. It has a concrete barrier down it, and the officer couldn't be parked on top of the barrier. Now, he could have been at one of those officer exchanges. That drawing is just too confusing. I'm sorry.
And I understand that, Judge. As I stated, it was a sketch.
It does not fairly
I disagree with you. 35 is not a 4-lane highway. If you're traveling southbound or north, if you're traveling south or north, it's only 2 lanes. It's a right lane and a left lane. It is not 4 lanes. I travel it every week.
Now we may have to have the trooper testify to that.
Okay.
Were any of the lanes closed?
Let me stop
construction.
Was any lanes closed for construction during that time?
Right.
Well, as you go down 35 north heading to Topeka, when you get closer to Emporia, yes. But as we were making the approach towards the food rest stop, no. Again, there is a left lane and there's a right lane only when you're traveling on 35. I travel it every week, just about, because of my recent job that I used to do.
Well, maybe you and I have different definitions of 4-lane highways. I think what you're saying is there are 2 lanes going in each direction.
Yeah, so I'm done with my presentation.
Okay. Mr. Regier, any questions?
None from the state, Your Honor.
All right, any further evidence? I would like to ask the trooper, the area that you are describing, I-35, is that a 4-lane or a 2-lane highway?
Yes, Your Honor. It is a 4-lane highway. It is divided by a cement barrier. It has 2 lanes designated for southbound travel and 2 lanes designated for northbound travel. It is considered a 4-lane highway.
Okay. All right. And just to make sure I understand what you were saying, Mr. Bush, do you agree with what he just said?
No, but he did confirm. If you were to ask him if you were traveling south, is it a 4-lane or 2-lane? Then see what the state. I bet his statement would align with mine. Then I understand. Of course, it's 4 lanes total. 1 traveling south, 1 traveling north. That means it's only 2 for passing lane, and it's 1 for you to be in the right lane. I've been in California. I've been in Texas. Those are 4 to 5 or 6 lanes traveling one way.
Your Honor, relevance. This is Kansas.
I'll let
Okay, but
okay. All right. Well, I've heard both sides now. You've both rested. As I said, I can take judicial notice. I too have traveled those roads many, many times over the years. I think many of us have. Sir, they are a I-35, the Turnpike, Kansas Turnpike, the area that you're talking about, is a 4-lane highway, but it is divided 2 lanes going each direction, 2 lanes going south, 2 lanes going north, and the 2 lanes are each divided concrete barrier running down the lanes to keep the 2 on the south from the 2 on the north.
Correct.
Okay, so I think we all agree. It's just our definitions of what's a 2-lane, what's a 4-lane are different. But under Kansas law, I believe Kansas law would call that a 4-lane highway. But the relevance determines what you were doing. We all agree the speed limit on the turnpike is 75. Now the question here is whether you were going 91 or not. And you, Mr. Bush, said you were passing, you said all the vehicles were going 75, as I understood it, and you were passing, therefore you believe that you should be able to use reasonable speed to accelerate past those 75-mile-per-hour cars. There's where we disagree. I don't know of anything in the Kansas law that says when you're passing a car, you can exceed the speed limit.
I never said
Rather, if you are going to pass, you still need to stay within the speed limit. And by your own testimony, you said these cars were going 75 and you were passing them. I agree with what you told your son about when you're passing a semi, you do it without delay, don't dawdle or anything like that. However, if the semi is going 75, you just slow down and you get behind the 75 at an appropriate distance, it goes 75. Same with all those other cars. You shouldn't be passing them if they're all going 75 and a 75. So with that, I am finding you guilty. I believe
you won't even look at me. You won't even look at me.
Hang on, it's my turn to talk. I did believe the officer's testimony that based on his experience, years of experience and training, that he was using the radar properly and that it was functioning properly. And so he could have written you, I believe, for 93, but gave you a break of 91. So that's what I'm finding you guilty of. Your fine is $81. Your court costs are $100.
I just looked it up. Interstate 65 that runs through Birmingham. It's a 2-lane. At the 4-lane, it's 2 lanes in the northbound, 2 lanes in the southbound lane. These people are freaking idiots. Just pay the fucking ticket. Damn.
108 for a total due of $189. Now, you do have up to 14 days to file your appeal of this decision with the Kansas Court of Appeals. And if you do, I will require an appeal bond of cash, $189. And if you do not appeal that, I can give you a little bit of time to pay. When would you like to pay that, sir?
When I get ready to pay, I'll be paying by debit. I'll pay it within the 14 days.
All right, I'll give you up to 14 days to pay it or to pay your appeal bond and start the appeal process.
Can I have one question, if you don't mind, before we?
Absolutely, go ahead, sir.
So it is an undisputed fact where you're telling me that a vehicle that is ready to pass a vehicle on the side must remain at the exact same speed without passing a person that is going 75. Is that an undisputed fact that you're telling me based off of what I know and what I just know that that's not true. So, but I just want to get it on record. So when I get in,
I'm telling you what my decision is. I've told you what my decision is, and you can appeal it as you feel necessary.
But I just want to make for sure from my notes, you're saying
I'm not going any further, sir. I've already made my decision.
Are these recorded?
I've made a record, absolutely.
Can I have a recording of this? Because you stated on there that you do not accelerate going past a person in the right lane. Do I get a chance to get a copy of this video stating that you said that an officer, or no, individuals cannot go past the speed, not like, and I stated in there, in a reasonable speed. I never said accelerating excessively over the speed, but to pass a vehicle on the right, you have to speed up to get past them, which most likely going to put you in between what I said about 80 miles per hour. If I can get a copy of this and then share it with who I need to speak with, and then I will do that, because I know for sure that that is not true. So I just want to know for sure, how do I get a copy of this with you stating that is not true what I stated?
I said what I said. It is recorded.
Okay.
You certainly can file a request for a transcript. You would need to do that if you're going to appeal this.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. If there's nothing further, we are in recess on Bush. Mr. Bush is excused. Trooper Cole is excused unless he is here on another matter as well.
No, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, before Trooper Cole leaves, I would like to personally thank him for his attendance here.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
That's funny. The way I was taught in driving school when I took driver's education, you're supposed to be 1 car length behind another vehicle. And you're supposed to not exceed the speed limit. How can you pass a car safely if you're speeding? You're going to cause a damn accident. I mean, I haven't driven since my mother passed away. But common sense. I still have the common sense to know what's right and what's wrong driving. Highway 31. Highway 31 that runs south to north. Runs through the cities of Hoover, Vestavia Hills, Homewood, Birmingham. And when you cross the bridge up here by my house, it becomes Decatur Highway. And you go out a little bit, and then when you cross the limits out of Birmingham, you're in Fontendale. It's the main drag. It's one of the main drag. 65 is a main drag. Highway 280 is a main drag. Interstate 2059, you can't believe the fucking traffic on Interstate 2059 at 5 o'clock at night. That's right. So was I. Exactly. That lady was lucky. Now, I admit I haven't driven a car in, 30 years? But when you take a driver's education class in high school, they teach you how to drive. I drove an 87 Nissan Sentra. Of course, I was driving my mom's Ford Granada. I had a permit. And New York State will give you a book to read, just like Alabama. I don't know if Alabama still does it or not. You used to be able to get a book from the driver, so you could take the driver's test. It also teaches you what the rules of the road are. All these people are ridiculous. I don't think I've never sped. I've always kept it within the speed limit. Always kept it within the speed limit. I don't think they do either. I don't even know if there's any driving schools around anymore. I take that back. I was going to Maxway one night after my live stream, and there was a student driver car parked in the parking lot. So I guess you could still take driver's education classes. If I didn't have bad eyes, I'd get my license because I know I could pass it. It's easier to pass the test here. New York State, that's not easy. I admit New York State is not easy to pass that test. Now they probably smack the shit out of you for a driver's license. I don't know how much it was. The permits were cheap. I think the permits, back when I was driving, the permit was $15, I think. Now they probably smack the shit out of you for it. I know Alabama smacks the hell out of you for a permit now. They even smack the hell out of you just for an Alabama State driver's or ID card now. Used to be $25. I think they charge more for it. Well, that's it for today. Tomorrow is Judge McNally. I like Judge McNally. He's tough. I think you're gonna like this guy. Tomorrow is Judge. See, as I'm getting content, I kind of will switch it around. I will deviate from. If I get enough content on different judges, I will deviate, and I will switch to newer judges, and then go back to the old format. If you guys think I'm doing a good job, please let me know that I'm doing a good job. This whole thing just doesn't feel right. I almost made the decision last night to step away from YouTube. That's not bad. That's not bad. $35 for a driver's license. That's not bad. Me and this Iranian guy, we went to the Walmart in Gardendale, Alabama. But he was tired, and he pulled off the road and wanted me to drive. And I had to explain to him, if I got stopped by the police driving your vehicle without a license, they're going to slap the shit out of me for it. I'm going to go to jail for it. But yeah, I could have driven the vehicle. It's no problem. Yeah, because I like it because it's not the drama. It's not the drama. But it looks like when I was doing that, Elemental P actually filed for a protection order. A protection order from Jeremy doesn't even mess with you, Michelle. Damn, you need to stop the. I want to say this. I'm going to say this right now. You need to stop your shit now. You are the one that keeps bringing this shit on and bringing it on and bringing it on and bringing it on. And that's why your ass is going to be sued. That's why your ass is in court. Now you filed for a motion for a protection order. For what? Jeremy doesn't even come near you. Jeremy doesn't have time to come near you. You know, I wasn't going to say anything, but this really pisses me off when I saw that she filed for a protection motion, a motion for a protection order. From what? Oh my God, he's in Ohio and will be in Ohio until next year. Well, no, he'll be in Ohio. He'll be in Ohio until about what? The end of October, November, when he comes back to Otter Creek. Why are you filing protect? Do you have evidence? Do you have any proof? Oh my God. Let me say this, Michelle, okay? This is what you did. You did all this. And I believe Jeremy 100%. Okay? I agree. I'm on Jeremy's side 100%. Until you came to Otter Creek, Jeremy was doing his thing and not being disturbed, and he was doing the right thing. You come along and you start your shit, and when you can't get your damn way, oh, you're going to whine and cry and bitch and moan. I'm done with it as far as this is concerned. I wish her luck on trying to get a protection order against Jeremy. I don't think she has any evidence. I think evidence is going to be hearsay, like it was when he did it with Judge Grudge. So that's all I have to say about that. Tomorrow is Judge McNally, and I think you guys are going to like him. He's a tough judge. He doesn't play. He's like Judge Bryant, which we're going to be every Thursday. Judge Bryant. I got a bunch of Judge Lenise Bryant. So that's it for today. You all have a wonderful evening. If you're not a subscriber to this channel and you like the content that's on this channel, please consider subscribing to this channel and helping this channel grow. This channel got a bad reputation because of other people. And it was I will take accountability for half of it. But let's show these other channels that this channel can grow without being promoted, without being put out there by other YouTube channels. So if you're not a subscriber to this channel and you like the content that's on this channel, please consider subscribing to this channel and helping this channel grow. Like I said, tomorrow is Judge McNally. Thursday would be Judge Bryant. I have a doctor's appointment on Monday, the 6th. So I don't know what's going to happen there. If I decide to do anything, I might go live later. Then Tuesday is next week. Next week, Tuesday, is my birthday. I'm just going to do whatever docket. I think it'd be Judge Simpson's docket. I'm going to be doing my regular stuff. It's just, a birthday is just another day for me. No, good. I don't think we've grown. We had 85 subscribers, then people left. So I don't know what the deal is with that. I know my watch time hours is way down, but my views are coming up. So that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock for Judge McNally. Farewell, ta-ta, ciao. Have a good evening, and I'll catch you again soon. Tuesday is my birthday, the 7th. Now, Tuesday is my birthday. That'd be the 7th. To be in fact, I was actually born Tuesday, October 7th. All right, everybody. I'm going to go lay down because my feet are hurting me and my back is hurting. I'm really tired today. I've been doing nothing but trying to get content and try to set up stuff. So I will see you guys tomorrow. You all have a wonderful evening. And I'll see you again soon.
Give up on this heart of mine. Put it back together every single time. Fix it all, fixing your album, standing tall to all you do. From the highest peak, I can see it through. With your care and touch, everything's okay.